KD needs to win another championship. As of late, the KD slander has been at an all-time high. Some of it warranted, but some of it has gone overboard. Those two championships in Golden State, let's keep it a buck. They count, but they don't really count. People will always have something to say about those two Golden State championships. But how do you silence the haters? You win, and win, and win some more. You win over and over again until there's nothing left to say. Look at Steph Curry. People said he only won his first championship because the Cavaliers were injured. Then they said he only won his second and third titles because Kevin Durant came to his team. This year, Steph Curry won his fourth NBA championship against a fully healthy Boston Celtics squad where he was unquestionably the best player in the NBA Finals. What could they possibly say now? If KD leads the Brooklyn Nets to an NBA championship, there's nothing anybody can say about him. But if he doesn't, he might as well have no championships, because that's exactly how people are going to talk about him. Before I continue with this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Show the channel some love. Let's get back into it. As of today, I think KD sits just outside the top 10 players of all time. In the same tier as the Dirks, the KGs, the Barkleys, the Malones. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing if you're in this tier. If you're a top 15 player of all time, you can go to sleep with a smile on your face. But KD is way better than that. KD should be in the top 7 range, even fighting to be top 5 of all time. That's how talented he is. He honestly should be on the same tier as Kobe and Bird. The only thing separating him from those guys is that they led their teams to multiple championships. They really got it out the mud and built something. Unlike KD, who joined a 73-9 team who was seconds away from winning back-to-back championships. In KD's defense, he's been very unlucky. And you know what they say, you need luck to win championships. And KD has not had luck on his side. I can name 5 instances off the top of my head where KD's drawn the shorter end of the stick. The first being the James Harden trade. Following the 2012 NBA Finals, where the Thunder fell short to the Heat, Oklahoma City decided to trade away James Harden in order to avoid paying the luxury tax. At the time, nobody knew that James Harden was going to be the James Harden that we know today. I don't even think James Harden himself thought he was going to be this great. But he was still a pivotal piece to that Thunder squad, and he was only going to get better. If Harden stays, not only do I think they win a championship, but I think we're talking dynasty. Multiple titles were in OKC's future, and I think it could have come as early as the following season if they kept that core together. But unfortunately, bad management failed KD and prevented him from winning an NBA championship early in his career. The second instance of bad luck would occur during the 2013 season, where Russell Westbrook would tear his meniscus in the first round of the playoffs. What's crazy is, even after trading away James Harden, the Thunder came back the next season with an even better record, finishing with the best record in the West at 60-22. But with Westbrook out of the playoffs due to injury, the Thunder would only go as far as the second round, losing in 5 games to the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies. The third instance of bad luck would occur during the 2014-15 season, where Kevin Durant would suffer a foot injury. Right in the middle of his prime, following an amazing MVP season, KD would only play 27 games during the 14-15 season, and the Thunder would miss the playoffs for the first time since KD's second year in the league. The fourth instance of bad luck for KD was when he missed the entire 2019-2020 season due to the Achilles injury he suffered in the NBA Finals. This was the bubble year. The league was wide open. The Golden State super team was no more. There was a fresh batch of duos who were vying to win the NBA title. And I think if healthy, KD and Kyrie would have been right up there with LeBron and AD. That year, the Heat made it out of the East. If the Nets were healthy, I think they beat the Heat and go to the NBA Finals, where I think they would have had a legit shot to win the title. And lastly, where I think KD had his worst luck, was during the 2021 playoffs when Kyrie and Harden were injured. This is easily the greatest performance of Kevin Durant's career. In Game 5 versus the Bucks, KD would put up 49 points, 17 boards, and 10 assists to help his Brooklyn Nets take a 3-2 lead. Then he'd follow that up by dropping 48, 9, and 6 in Game 7 and was just a toe away from eliminating the Milwaukee Bucks. But unfortunately for KD, he didn't have his guys healthy with him, and they'd fall short to the Bucks. Since he's had title expectations, the only times I can say he legitimately lost were in 2014, where he lost to the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals, 2016, where he blew the 3-1 lead to the Warriors, and this year, getting swept by the Boston Celtics. But as you can see, for the majority of KD's career, he hasn't had the luck that's needed to win an NBA championship. Luck aside, some people will argue that KD never had good teams in OKC. I don't know about all that. I think he had legit supporting casts that he could have took over the hump if he rose to the occasion. The biggest example being the 2016 Western Conference Finals, where he was up 3-1 against the 73-9 Warriors. In the last 3 games of that series, KD averaged 32 points on 39% shooting from the field and 27% shooting from three-point range. KD fans will always die on this hill. They believe that as long as Russell Westbrook was his teammate, Kevin Durant could never win a championship in Oklahoma City. Depending on who you're talking to, people will have differing opinions on whether or not Russell Westbrook's a winning player. Let's say we give KD a pass for all his time in OKC because he had Russell Westbrook as his teammate. What's going to be KD's excuse if he doesn't win in Brooklyn? There's no Russell Westbrook there. As far as I know, there's no Russell Westbrook playing in Brooklyn. He's got a great supporting cast there. He's got Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Patty Mills. So the KD doesn't have a good team excuse isn't going to fly here. It's honestly a good thing James Harden left Brooklyn, because if Kevin Durant won a championship with that team, it would have been Golden State all over again. That's what I don't get about KD. It always seems like he wants the easy way out. He doesn't want to go through the grind. Word to my guy Dame Lillard. He has a good squad in OKC, then leaves them to join the 73-9 team. Then he leaves Golden State because we think he's trying to prove that he can lead a team to a championship. But then he asked for James Harden on his team, so now he has another super team, and it's like, bro, why did you even leave? You should have just stayed there. And then, after he gets swept in the playoffs this year, he requests a trade, and it's like, bro, you built this team. You literally asked for this. And on top of that, the teams that he requested to go to were the Phoenix Suns and the Miami Heat. The Phoenix Suns were a 64-win team that just made it to the NBA Finals a year ago, and the Miami Heat were the number 1 seed in the East who were in the Finals 2 years ago. When you put all these things together, it just looks like over and over again, Kevin Durant wants an easy way to a championship. And all this combined has contributed to the hate and slander of a player who was one of the most loved at one point in the NBA. Luckily, there's still hope. LeBron James was once the most hated man in basketball when he joined the Miami Heat. But after winning a couple titles in Miami, all was forgotten. Then he returned to Cleveland and won a championship for his hometown, and his lore grew. And then he delivered a championship for the Lakers, tying them for the most championships in NBA history. And just like that, the LeBron James will never win a ring chatter seems like it's from an alternate reality. Winning cures all. And if Kevin Durant wins a championship in Brooklyn, all the slander, all the noise will be silenced. There won't be anything you can say about Kevin Durant. And if he wins multiple championships, now we're potentially talking about one of the 5 best players to ever touch a basketball. But we'll revisit that when we get there, if we get there.